We'll return to Libya and the refugee crisis in particular in a minute. But first, we turn to another Arab nation facing street protests, Yemen. In the face of continued rallies on the streets of the capital, Sana'a, President Saleh has made a series of offers. First, the president declared that he would not run again in the next election, scheduled for 2013. But protesters reminded him that he said that before in 2005 and then changed his mind. Next, the president offered to establish a unity government. Again, his offer was rebuffed. So what do the protesters want? I'm joined now from Sana'a by a leading protester and activist, the lawyer Khaled Al-Ansi. Mr. Al-Ansi, welcome. Good to have you with us. What is it that you've turned down two offers the president made, but what is it you want to hear the president say? What do you want him to do?
It is a simple wish. We want to resign. Now he spent 33 years in power. It is not a Republican country. He make it a kingdom country. We want him to leave the power. He owned this country and make it under his name and his family name, and make the people in trouble, in war, in conflict. I think we deserve to live a good life like other people, like other countries. He introduced this country as example for terrorism, for extremes, for kidnapping, for corruption, and now for Balatija. We are a good people. We love peaceful, we love democracy, we love freedom, and I don't know why he introduced himself during the last years as a role for the leader who respect human rights, who respect democracy, and when the people ask him to leave the power, to resign, he refused.
So you think he should resign, to resign now, resign soon, not at the end of the year? You think he should resign soon and what, leave the country?
Yeah, we ask him to resign now, not tomorrow, not after 1 hour. If we could to make him resign yesterday, we will ask him to resign yesterday. When we tell him to leave, we mean to leave the power. I am a human rights activist, and I will not ask any Yemeni to leave the country. And also, he has to stay in Yemen because we have the right to trial him, to investigate him about the bad thing that he did during his period in the power.
So what you want to see is the organization, the government that takes over from the president, assuming he goes, you would like it to be a democratic government. Therefore, you'll presumably have to hold elections and so on. And so it may take a little while, a little time, before a new government can be operating.
Yeah, he said the same thing in 2006. He is not from yesterday. He now 33 years in the power. It is a long time. If he can do something, he can do it in the past. Why now he want to continue?
And I read, in fact, that Mr. Al-Ansi, that in fact during a recent protest that security forces actually attacked you with sort of electric shock batons and so on. Have you received that sort of treatment, that sort of violent treatment from the government as well?
I be arrested twice, and I be beaten and attacked many times. We received there, and but we are ready to give this country everything, our soul, our blood. We don't have another choices. If you see the people, Yemeni people, when they are abroad in a bad condition, or if they are beggars in the street, you will prefer to die than to live. We know this regime can do anything, but what we believe, he couldn't do anything if God not willing that. For that, we don't care about what he will do, and we will continue. Not only Khaled Al-Ansi who stand against you. There are millions Yemeni people who will continue. My new generation, my sons, I have 10 children. They they will continue after me. We are from the tribal society. We will continue. And now a good thing, the tribal leaders join us. There are anger inside the security body, inside the military. We receive every day many people from the police security, from the military, from the tribe, who announce their supporting and ask for peacefully change. And they announce they will leave guns, they will leave violence, and continue for peaceful demonstration until this regime go out.
Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to welcome you back to the program again. Thank you.
Thank you for AlJazeera.
A huge humanitarian disaster. That's what will happen, according to the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, Antonio Guterres, if the international community does not act to help Tunisia with the massive influx of refugees from Libya. The majority of those crossing the border have been migrant workers from Egypt and Tunisia, but many other nationalities, including Bangladeshis, Vietnamese, and sub-Saharan Africans, are also represented. So can the UN Refugee Agency, the heart of all this, the Tunisian government and the NGOs keep up with the average, which was, at least until today, of 15,000 refugees a day pouring over the border? Antonio Guterres joins me now, I'm delighted to say, from Geneva. Antonio, we read in papers today that the numbers may have dropped yesterday in terms of the numbers flowing or trying to flow into Tunisia. Is that true, and how great is the problem today?
Well, it's true, and the problem remains the same today. We had a massive influx until 2 days ago, as you rightly said, about 15,000 per day. And all of a sudden, yesterday, we had only 1,800 people. And today, also, the numbers are relatively small. The difference is that the Libyan side of the border, that was totally disorganized, became very well organized with a massive police and military presence in the border, on the way to the border. So we don't know exactly what's happening in Libya. We don't know if people are being refrained from crossing, if they are being detained somewhere on the way. The truth is that the numbers have indeed quite substantially decreased in these last 2 days.
And so, in that situation, obviously it's easier, not easy, but easier for Tunisia to cope with the problem today or yesterday, but it may blow up again as it was a few days ago, or do you think that period of massive people attempting to flee from Libya, is that over?
I don't think, unfortunately, it is over, because we know that there is a huge number, hundreds of thousands of people in the other side of the border that came from Egypt, from Bangladesh, from Vietnam, and from different African countries. The situation is now manageable. We still have more than 10,000 people, but now essentially from Asian countries, and we have started to fly